We are officially in the holiday season. You got a chance to spend time with families and friends and loved ones and people who care about you. And some of you may not have had a good holiday when it passed. And some of you probably didn't have family and friends to go and talk to. But I want you to know that there are people who you have interacted with that have had great, profound impact from your interaction. I want you to know that you're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one out here fighting. And you're not the only one that's out here looking for help. You're just one of many who are in this war. And I'm asking you to do what many of them are doing, and that's reach out and get help. 3 numbers, 988, will line you up with somebody that you can talk to. 988 will set you up with a person who can put you in a position to do something that not only you can live with, but those who care about you can live with as well. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and go get help. Now let's talk football. Nation. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to a live. I tried. All right, good people. Good people. Let me just get into it. Let me get into it. I got a lot to cover. And today's show is going to be a little bit different. I ain't taking no excuses today, people. Don't look to me if you come in here looking for excuses. This is not that kind of show. I'm giving out a disclaimer right now because I know I'm finna upset some people. And I believe everybody have their opinions. And I want you to know that I respect yours. I want you to know that if you don't respect mine, that's cool. I really don't care. But I can tell you this much. If you came here looking for a show with excuses, this is your chance to exit stage left. On your way out, leave a comment and a like, and hopefully you subscribe. If you come here to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, then get your popcorn ready because I'm finna get disrespectful about a lot of things. Because I believe that we as a fan base, we as a media, as a football team, have missed a lot of things. And it's not me in a panic mode. It's not me in a get ready to go full-fledged rant Patty Luke mode. This is a full-fledged, let's tell the truth about our team. Let's be open and honest about our team. So I'm going to do this quickly. I'm going to do my roll call quick. But I'm about to get a little disrespectful. I'm finna hit on some delicate type topics that I know many of you don't want to talk about. But it has to happen, okay? So we got my man Black Spirit in the building. One Funky Lion fan is in the building. We have my man Zach J in the building. D-Map Zoon is in the building. Giovanni Lyons in the building. The Dern is in the building. We have my man Greg in the building. Cap Ice Cold. Billy Venable is in the building. We got my man, the True Blue Boogeyman in the building. We got my man, who else am I forgetting? Make sure I ain't miss nobody. All right, I think I covered it really quick and fast. We got Detroit D in the building. What up, though? If you in here, you want the shout out? Just drop a like. It could be a middle finger for all I care. I'm going to still show you love. Listen, Detroit Lions lose to the Green Bay Packers. And I can't even be upset. I can't even be upset. My man Willie Ross is in the building. What up, though? Thanksgiving was awesome. I appreciate it. Hope yours was good, too. I can't be upset that the Lions lost to the Packers. I can't be frustrated that the Lions lost to the Packers. I can't even begin to tell you how it made me feel watching that game. I decided to do the show a little different. Let me dispel all the BS that's out there. I don't want to hear the excuse about no damn moons. Don't care about it. I don't care about no damn moons. I don't care about no the referees didn't call this and the referees didn't call that. I don't want to hear about no what's the other one I heard that was an excuse? Oh, they're holding this person, they're doubling and tripling in that I don't want to hear none of the excuses. Keep the excuses to yourself. I don't want to hear it. If you came in here with a bunch of excuses, then telling you right now, keep it to yourself. I'm not buying any of it. I'm not hearing it. There is no excuse. There's just facts, and the facts remain the same. This Detroit Lion team, nah. See, that's not even right. Let me rephrase it. Jared Goff in the offense and Ben Johnson in conjunction with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell is the problem. Now, you notice I left out the defense and the defensive coordinator, but I'll get into that in a minute. Let's start with the first thing. I remember after the Lions beat Kansas City, I was very critical of a number of things, and I was told that, oh, why can't you just enjoy the win, Luke? And I told people repeatedly, because it's my job to give you the truth. It is my job to make sure that I am able to explain the truth, win, lose, or draw. And the truth is, I saw a number of different issues that came to roost over the last 3 weeks. While people were out celebrating and getting all hyped about adding a receiver at the trade deadline, that is really helping us out right now. Such a great move. Such a great move. Damn the fact that we have no interior help. I'm tired of hearing conversations about Aiden Hutchinson needs help. You know who needs help? Aleem McNeil. Jack Campbell is no better than Malcolm Rodriguez right now. And yet, the best part of that game was the defense. Oh, Luke, you crazy. You crazy. The best part of the defense, you crazy. Yeah. Yeah. The best part of that game was the damn defense. Jared Goff stinked yesterday. He stinked against the Bears. He's been inconsistent this season. While everybody else points to the stats, I've seen a guy who's been grossly inconsistent, missing people wide open. And to me, good quarterbacks don't miss wide open receivers consistently. And this is why I told you my theory. They are literally keeping Hendon Hooker under rest because guess what? As bad as Jared Goff played yesterday, no one screamed, "We want Bridgewater." No one screamed it. No one came on radios and talked about, "We wanted Bridgewater." Had Hendon Hooker been on that roster and dressed, you would have had the whole stadium chanting for Hendon Hooker. And to the people who, well, he's hurt, he's not ready. Who told you that? Everybody else's injury for ACL was 8 to 9 months. His injury happened November 19th of 2022. Now, I don't know if you do the math, but look at the damn dates. It's now November 24th. That's over a year that he's had to heal. Over a year. Now, let's talk about what happened in this game. Ben Johnson, we was all happy he came back. I think he does a lot of good things. Nobody's perfect. But I'll be damned if when are you going to stick to something and do it early and often? We featured Montgomery way too much yesterday. Way too much. This was not the game for him. He should have. When are we going to figure out how thunder and lightning really works in real life? Let me explain to people who may not have known this. Let me explain to them, okay? Thunder and lightning works like this. There's generally a flash first, and then there's a moment of silence and calm, followed by a loud crackling and boom. Let me say it again. Light is faster than sound. And they keep coming up with these backdoor conversations with running backs where they're giving the ball to certain people and not others. Now, you took him 12th overall. He has shown you he's a valuable asset, not only as a runner, but as a passer. Start him. Every game, Monty don't have to be the starter. You can start the game off with Gibbs. And we should have done that. We should have did that, and we should have ran the ball consistently. We didn't do none of that. And instead, what we did was we allowed much of the same things that I complained about, that I bitched about, that I brought up to the table and was told that I'm tripping, greatest general manager of all time. When I point out and flat out lined it out that, look, you have this, and this before this happened, and this is where we at since he's been here. You know what I mean? Like, I told you, we're not adding proper defensive help. We're getting Dollar General and Family Dollar people to help the defense. The offense is getting all kind of help, significant help on offense, because they're trying to create the perfect storm for Jared Goff. Then you have people going, well, our run defense is good. And I go and I point that out. Well, it's not good or bad, but the run defense hasn't been tested. When we go against a run team, I will know if it's fixed. Well, we went against some running teams, and guess what? It ain't fixed. Because you don't have the talent that is above average on defense. And yes, I'm including your sacred Aiden Hutchinson. And spare me the double, triple, quadruple team, because I watched the damn Cowboys games and he got double in the quadruple team too. And he ain't the only one. You're lacking serious talent on the defensive side of the ball. And here's the reality of it. The defensive talent that you're lacking is coming to roost. Not taking an interior D lineman, it's coming to roost. When I look at this game, I literally was like, why are we not running the ball more? And what the hell is wrong with Jared Goff? Jared Goff was asked to do one thing and one thing only. Don't hurt us. 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles. 3 freaking fumbles. How? 2 of them back to back. How? How, Sway? Let me show y'all what upset me. Outside of Ben Johnson's play calling or lack thereof. Okay? Lack thereof. Before I get into showing this to you, I want to be clear about something. This is my way of telling you that there's some shit in the game and excuses will not be tolerated. It doesn't make sense. There were plays where that man had time and that ball came out so wobbly and terrible. I'm surprised it even got in the area and was not picked. I'm agreeing with you, Cap Ice Code. We should have went out and added. We should have added somebody who can. Because if it's one thing I can tell you is that man Carter has been consistent. I want you to look at what happened in the game. Everybody watched the game. They probably watched it intentionally just as much as I did. But I just want you to see what happened. In 5 plays, they came out and went deep. That ball hung up there for so long, and not a single person was able to get over there on a ball that looked like it took forever to come down. Doesn't matter. In 5 plays, they took a touchdown. The Lions quickly respond, and I knew it was going to be a long day when a guy by the name of Patterson missed the extra point. But you know the funny part about this is there was another guy who traded for this guy after this guy wasn't even good enough to beat up the guy that they had on the team, and they lost him as a free agent to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who then realized he was some shit and then let him, was about to cut him because they was like, we done with this experiment. But Detroit, great general manager, comes along and trades for him. He trades for him. He trades for a guy that the head coach doesn't even trust. And to the people out there that's like, we left 12 points worth of field goals out there, you wouldn't have won with those 12 points anyway. Because some of them possessions would not have been amounted to much of nothing. But let's be honest. If you're playing field goals and stuff, cool. And when I pointed out Dan Campbell, I'm pointing him out because he's the head coach, so he's shoulders to blame. But he made really one bad call, in my opinion, which was to go for that damn fake punt on our side of the ball when it's the third quarter, 9 minutes and some change left, and 3 timeouts. Plenty of time for anything to happen. He put the defense in a very sad position, and he missed that. I love the accountability. I love what Brian Brent said when he said we beat ourselves more than we got beat, because that's the truth. I love that Jahmyr Gibbs was upset about the loss. What I don't love is Jared Goff. This is why I wanted a quarterback. Because it's going to rear its ugly head, and when he rears it, it's ugly. So at this point, it's 7-6. 2 possessions. They score, we respond. They go 10 plays, people. 10 plays. 10. They had no problem running the ball on us. I'm not even looking at the box score. They had no problem running the ball on us. Our linebackers were not even a factor. 10 plays. It's 14-6. We go 2 plays with a forced fumble that's returned for a touchdown. And then their guy missed the extra point. Woo, great. This works out perfect. Because now we had that weird play happen. We're going to bounce back at this point. Yeah, see, we had the one mistake. The bounce back is on its way now, right? We already had the one mistake. It's a fumble for a touchdown. Cool. We still score. It's 1 possession. It's 20-13. If you go for 2, you know with the rest of the math. It's still 1 possession. Okay? And what do you do after that? You go 3 plays and you fumble again. You fumble again. Every game we lost was because of offense. Defense put them in beautiful spots, and they were able to score based on a lot of those positioning. But for the most part, this is what we're looking at. You fumble again. Now, the defense at this point, who technically only gave up 14 points, at this point, holds the damn Packers to a 3 and out. And the Lions get the ball back, go 8 plays for 34 yards. And I want you to see this too right here. They go 8 plays for 34 yards, and they punt. That's 1 possession that the defense gave you the ball back to help this. And then they come back out again, and the defense holds them to a field goal at the 9 plays and 62 yards. And it's 23-6. And this is still great because either way it go, you're really just trying to keep the possessions down. That's what it's about, right? So holding them to that is huge. And the Lions come out with another possession, 9 plays, 38 yards. Very uninspiring play calling from Ben Johnson. That's 2 drives that they did nothing with. The Lions so far scored a touchdown on 1 drive, fumbled on 2. So that's 3 drives right there. Punted on another, that's 4. Then turn the ball over on downs here. That's 5 possessions on offense. 5. In case you're not counting. But mind you, the defense only gave up 14 points at this point. They come out, they go 5 plays and punt. Defense hold again. That's 6 possessions. 6. We go 3 plays and punt. There go your 7th. They go for a field goal and miss it. There's your first quarter. We had 6 possessions in the first quarter alone and came out with 6 damn points. And I got to hear excuses about defense and Aaron Glenn. And it's bigger than the offensive line, who was horrible yesterday. But the play calling did nothing to get them back on track for confidence. Nothing. Not even running the ball. If I took this further and broke this down into every play call, you would be disgusted. You would be disgusted. I don't want to hear about no damn moons. Please don't bring up the moons. It's halftime. David Montgomery has 9 carries. Jahmyr Gibbs has 3. Goff has 2. That's 14 rushing attempts for 46 yards. You mean to tell me you couldn't find no way? We didn't. I think it was almost the 4th quarter by the time we called a screen play pass to Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't understand why you draft the receiver, as my man Billy Venable uses here, 12th overall with his hurt ass, and you don't throw the ball deep to him once. But he's a deep threat, is what the fans were telling me. Because we love receivers, right? I heard that Donovan Peoples-Jones was going to take Josh Reynolds' spot. Interesting. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Here's your good, bad, and ugly. The good was the defense. It was the only thing that was good. The bad was special teams. We didn't know when to let the ball go over our head. We didn't hold blocks long enough just terrible. The ugly was the entire offense. Offensive coordinator, offensive line, the goddamn receivers. Everybody gets a hand on this. You traded up in the 3rd round for a D tackle who can't get on the fucking field. And I got people arguing with me, telling me that, he was always for the future. What about right now? When the NFL hands you a perfectly clean, smooth, easy freaking schedule, what about right now? Because he can't help you. What about the investment of the 2nd overall pick in Aiden Hudson, who can't win one-on-ones? Well, he didn't get much of that, Luke. It was a whole lot of double teams and triple teams and holding. So what? Everybody does it. They held double team, triple team Calvin Johnson. He still performed. They did the same thing to Ndamukong Suh. He performs. Aaron Donald, he performs. They do it to Max Crosby. Hell, we recently just did it to Max Crosby. He still performed. We're the only fan base out here using a stat that is so irrelevant, so insignificant like pressures, and it's so out of context like pressure. We're the only ones using that to justify the shortcomings of a draft pick. And if you have to make excuses for him, he's not the guy. Myles Garrett gets doubled. Danielle Hunter, everybody gets doubled and held. And he has no counter move. He has spin, and more spin. Even his bull rush don't even look good no more. But we can't talk about Bruno. And to the Michigan fans in here, sorry, not sorry. The defense really didn't have any standout player. They just did their job as a unit. And they got the ball back to the offense. They got it back to the offense. So let's continue. We at the second quarter. The Lions finally go 7 plays, score a touchdown. And now it's 23-14. Still 2 possessions, but more manageable. And the defense hold. Again, at the 6 plays, they hold and get the ball back. And it's turnover on downs. It's turnover on downs. Okay. Then they come down and they score a touchdown. 29-14. This is what they do. Okay? And we come out after that and fumble. And at this point, the defense is giving up 22 points. Well, Luke, the score is 29. Yeah, that's on the offense. One of those touchdowns on the offense. So we gave up 22 points. And by my count, 16 or 22 points, yeah, you should win that game. But we fumbled. And they come out in 5 plays, get 13 yards, only use 1 minute and 40 seconds, and the defense holds. And we come out, go 10 plays, 79 yards, and turn the ball over again on downs. That's 3 plays that we turned down. We got turned around on downs. That even if you took a field goal and you made it, you're talking right there, that's 9 points. Right? And that sounds good in theory. But I'm only going by what happened. The defense held. You couldn't come away with nothing. And it wasn't about the field goals. It was about getting touchdowns. And sure, you could have got the field goals, but the man missed the extra point. They don't trust him. We need a kicker. We need an interior D lineman. We need linebackers. Our front 7 has still been a problem. Then, defense holds again. 6 plays, 46 yards, they hold again. And we score. But it don't even matter at that point. Because we already blown a number of possessions. A number. To show you how crazy this is. 25 first downs is what the Lions had. 25. They had 17 passing, 6 rushing. They got 2 from penalties. They were 7 of 15 on 3rd down. 1 for 5 on 4th down. Look at this. Yards per pass, 6.9. The offense was the worst part of this damn team. 140 yards total rushing. Don't even care. Because when you finally decided to commit to the run, it was too late. Too late. Both of us had 7 penalties. We had 3 turnovers. Generated no turnovers. But the number that stood out to me is going to show up on this one right here. Let me get over here. You had no sacks. Tell me about those goddamn pressures now. Please do. Tell me how great the pressures are. See, it's cool when it sounds good to talk about some stuff in Pro Football Focus that supports your narrative. But when we put it in context, it don't look so good. Tell me about the pressures now. Because we had some. It wasn't many. And the pressures didn't result to anything negative, but hey, the NFL, or I'm sorry, Pro Football Focus counted as a pressure. Oh, and it's another excuse. Well, we had injuries. You don't think they had injuries? There was no Jair Alexander out there. You didn't find a single way to max protect or get the ball down the field deep to J-Mo to back him up. Got it. Got it. You didn't find any of that. And it's not just this game, people. I'm just addressing it because it's the most recent one. This same BS happened against the Bears. Jared Goff turning the ball over, looking terrible. Offense really struggling, and the defense keeping them alive. And everybody turned towards Aaron Glenn. It's his fault. Go to Google right now and type in right now Detroit Lions and tell me how many articles is blaming the defensive coordinator. Matter of fact, I'll give you a few. Let's just look at a few headlines here. This is an article that we need to talk about the Detroit Lions defense. And you can tell when something pains the writer. You can tell. Let me get to this one particular part. Let me get to it. Let me go down real quick. Ask if that defense showing was an anomaly. Coordinator Aaron Glenn, and talking about them going against the Bears and about what happened with them going against the Chargers. That's what he's talking about. Was it an anomaly or what happened with them going against the Chargers? To which I tried to address this, but nobody wanted to hear it. He said, that's a good quarterback that got hot. The thing that we've got to do is make sure that we don't allow that to happen again. And every week, that's our mode. And he's like, okay, good. It's a good point. Right? He said, the problem is the following week, the Lions had a similar difficulty handling Justin Fields while falling behind by double digits. Yeah, because your quarterback stunk. Your quarterback stunk. The one thing you're asking him not to do, he did. We just turned the ball over. He turned it over. 4 days later, another young quarterback goes off. That's not on the defense. And he goes on to show you, and this is how some of us get our opinions. It says, yes, Aaron, this is the NFL, and sometimes guys makes plays. But lately, it seems like everyone is making more plays against you than anyone else. The Lions have allowed 31 points per game since the bye week. Worse than everyone else in the league except the Commanders and the Giants. And everybody and their mama was hard hyped on the last 5 games for last season when I was like, but what about the whole picture? Nobody talking about it now. And then we keep on going because he's going to show you. He's going to show you some things where you can tell that he was frustrated. He says, but the pass defense is garbage right now, allowing opposing quarterbacks to pile up a passer rating of 116.1 since the bye. Worse than everyone except the Commanders and the Buccaneers. Friendly reminder, they faced Justin Fields and Jordan Love for those 2 games. The coverage is too soft. Not that anyone needs to tell you that. Jerry Jacobs is getting exploited. And so is every linebacker not named Alex Anzalone. But you know what I remember? I remember there was a guy who literally said we need linebackers and D-line. And I was told that we got a 6th-round linebacker in Malcolm Rodriguez, who now, by the way, is playing fullback. Funny how that works. There seems to be no marriage with the pass rush, although, to be fair, there isn't much of a rush to marry. Aiden Hutchinson is a fantastic player, but there is nobody, and I do mean nobody, to fear beyond him. Really? Really? There's nobody to fear beyond him. That's very telling. Sounds like that somebody should have got some help in here. Oh, wait, that's the job of the general manager, the greatest of all time. That's what that is. Romeo Core, Josh Pascal, Charles Harris, you kidding me, right? Who brought these people in? Who brought these people in? And I love that he's bringing this up, but just pay attention to it. On the edge, their sack leader beyond Hutchinson is Julian Okoye with 2, and that guy was a healthy scratch against Green Bay. Really? Really? Take away Hutchinson and you take away the Lions pass rush. The fuck is he talking about? Excuse my French. What are you talking about? Hutchinson pass rush is more spotty than a female period. You got to be kidding me. What pass rush? He makes plays here and there, but what pass rush are we talking about? We writing this article like the only thing going for us is Hutchinson. What? He not good in the run. None of them is. The front 7 is still in shambles. And somehow the defensive coordinator is still getting something out of them. I don't know what the hell he's telling them, but it's working. It said that's exactly what Green Bay did, sending out double and triple teams to slow down the former number 2 pick, particularly daring the Lions to rush Love from anywhere else. Spoiler alert, they did not. Just one frontline player hit Love on Thursday, Hutchinson, who did it one time. No one took him down at all. That's the second time in 3 weeks the Lions have failed to record a single sack. It's funny because all I keep hearing about is pressures, but everybody else is talking about getting the quarterback to the damn ground. That stops the play. And their sack rate is just 2.1 during that stretch. That's 31st in the league, ahead of only Carolina Panthers. Not being able to rush and not being able to cover is not a great way to go about trying to win a passing league. And the only team doing any of that worse than Detroit right now are some of the worst. The Lions have been able to paper over the issues by gutting out dramatic wins on the other side of the ball, and make no mistake, the other side of the ball has been fantastic this season. What? This is how narratives get spun. We're winning because of defense. And it's not a good defense. That's the crazy part. It's not a good defense, but we're winning because of defense. It says, fantastic enough for the Lions to have the second best record in the NFC despite the defense. You mean despite the offense. The first time we beat the Packers, they sacked them 5 times and caused them all kind of havoc and hell. Great field position, interceptions, and all. I can go down the list of all the games where it all mattered. But let's go a little bit further, because some people decided to hand out grades. I want to show you how you can put your narrative that it's a bunch of baloney. I want to show you how it looks. Matter of fact, this ain't even the first one. I only went to a few. Quarterback, D. A D? A D? He fumbled 3 times. Should have had about another 3 in a D. You have got to be kidding me. What? He was sacked 3 times. So what? A lot of quarterbacks get sacked 3 times. They don't fumble it 3 times. Come on now. He missed an open Sam Laporta on 3rd down crossing route. Wasn't on the same page with Gibbs on an option route. And you gave him a D? I'm all for being insulted, but this is just ridiculous. Let me put this damn link out here because I'm trying my best to keep it together. I really am. I'm trying my best to keep it together because I know that this has got to be a joke. It has to be a joke because there is nothing that can lend itself to it. The only good thing we have going for us is the damn defense. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. Like, I don't even think y'all understand it. And you're going to have other people on YouTube tell you it's Aaron Glenn's fault. They're going to tell you get rid of Aaron Glenn. It's all on Aaron Glenn. But when you look at this thing in context, you start to see where a lot of the problems come in play. You start to see it. And I'm just calling a spade a spade. It ain't on Aaron Glenn. It's not on Big Dog on this one. Not this one. You cannot give this man rocks and say, I want ragu raviolis. You can't do it. You can't. Let me get some of these comments out the way before I get to put this link out there so y'all can tell me I've lost my mind. Can't be turning the ball over that much. Nope. Hutch has been a ghost for over a month outside of one play a game. Facts. This offseason, AH needed to get stronger and learn new moves. He didn't. Goff was out there throwing ducks. You call that a duck? You thought that was a duck that was flying? Even ducks fly more gracefully than what the hell I saw. That was more of like a goddamn chicken. Because you know chickens don't fly. Them balls weren't even close. Yeah, you're right about that, Anthony. That was one of my favorite plays where he fought for that ball. That could have easily been an interception. He should have thanked him and bought him a Rolex. Giving out a damn D. Shout out to my Packers subscriber, a.k.a. Old Timer Dave. Slow down and breathe, Luke, so you don't blow a gasket. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to fight the power. Goff have been absolutely horrible since the bye, and that's not even going back on the other side of the ball. It's not. One issue is they went in like it was going to be a walk in the park and got pistol whipped. Well, that's what happens when you walk in the park at night by yourself with headphones on and unaware of your surroundings. Like, seriously. Let me put the link out there because I want people to be able to come in and talk. They talk if they want to talk. They talk. But I'm not taking no excuses. I'm not doing it. This is not acceptable, and we have to look at this in its proper context. We have to look at it in its proper context. And that's what I'm doing here. But my man over here giving out a D. I want to show y'all how the media can play with y'all emotions. Running backs, a B. Yeah, you have to give them a B because they wasn't even given the opportunity for real. You just refuse to run the damn ball. Wide receivers, a C+. Yeah, there's a drop by the tight end. There's a drop by Reynolds. But there were fewer drops than fumbles by Jared Goff. So a C+, I ain't mad about it. Tight ends a B-, whatever. Offensive line a F. Yep, that's fair. Defensive line a F. Really? Let's hear what he had to say about this. For the second time in 3 games, the Lions failed to get as much as a single sack. Isn't it funny how every single person who writes about this in the media, and they all talk about sacks, but our fan base talks about pressures because Pro Football Focus helped them push their narrative? Even though your second overall pick has been Ghost, Casper, Halloween long gone. We already on Thanksgiving, now past going to Christmas, and he's still missing. And yes, he made a key play at the end of the game against the Bears, and I'm happy about it. But it's not consistent. Aiden Hutchinson got close on a couple of occasions. Ooh, pressure. But he was clearly a point of emphasis as the Packers often chipped and capped multiple bodies on him. Yeah. See, here's the problem with that. When I watched the game, I actually looked at where they put him at, and he had a few one-on-ones, but I don't care if he's getting chipped. He's getting chipped 4-5 yards off the line of scrimmage, literally getting knocked off. Like, come on, man. Hutchinson was able to get a tackle for a loss amongst his 2 tackles. Ali McNeil left briefly with an injury, but returned in the second quarter. As cohesive unit, the Lions managed just 4 quarterback hits against Jordan Love. Everybody making excuses for the second overall pick. He's great. Stop it. Linebackers, D. How? When are we going to talk about Jack Campbell? Seriously. When are we going to talk about Jack Campbell? He a rookie, right? Everybody and their mama had a stat for me for all our rookies last year. When are we going to talk about Jack Campbell? There was one play, I'll never forget this. A.J. Dillon catches the ball, he jumps over a defender, and Alex Anzalone goes to hit him, and he bounced off of him like it was a Madden game glitch, and the guy keeps running. And I'm thinking to myself, if that was Roquan Smith, would that have to happen? That was Fred Warner. Would that have to happen? You just don't have the people. You have a bunch of average dudes. Secondary, a D. I can't even get him a D because the front 7 is a joke. It's a joke. I can't even get him a bad grade because the front 7 is that bad. Special teams a C-. My ass, excuse my French, should be an F2. Let's go over here and see their grades. It's a little bit more realistic. Quarterback, F. I'll take it. Running backs, B-. I'll take it. Receivers, what do you give them? A C. Can't even judge it because although that Donovan Peoples-Jones offsides penalty, what the hell was that? You offsides as a receiver? Come on, bro. Tight ends, B. Offensive line, F. Defense. Oh, defensive line, D-. D-. I think Jordan Love could have farted and we wouldn't even been able to sniff it. Like, at all. We was never that close. Linebackers, D+. These are jokes. Secondary, D. Special teams, D. Come on, man. I'm sick of it. When the Lions win and I come on here and I give you the honest review of it, please don't come to me talking about some just be happy we won. Miss me with that. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, Zach. Yeah, this is BS. Let me bring in my first guest, Lions Rumble. Rumble, what up, though?
What up, though, Luke G, man? What's going on, man? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, man.
I did. In spite of what the Lions did, I enjoyed the hell out of myself with my families and my friends. I did. How was yours?
It was good, man. I can't complain. Same thing, man. I enjoyed it. I can't be too bitter about what happened yesterday. But yeah, man, the food was great. Seeing family and friends, always awesome.
All right, what you got for the Lions? Because obviously they lose to the Packers. What are your thoughts? And I know that you, Bandit did a show, and
man,
I had them winning by 14. We all had them winning this game convincingly.
Yes.
And I know that there was a lot of talk on that show about Jonah Jackson being out, but it looked like we missed him.
Of course.
And I expected us to run the ball.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah. Yeah, to your point, man. Yeah, we did. We had a great conversation. So thank you for hopping on, man. It's always good chopping it up with you, talking ball, somebody who knows what the hell he's talking about. But yeah, man, I felt like we the first play of the game, the deep ball to Watson told me everything I need to know. I've been very critical of AG, and it's just being critical. I'm not saying fire the guy. I'm just very critical of these gaudy openings we have in our defense. I felt right out the gate they punched us in the mouth, and we never looked back after that. So hats off to them. Congrats on win number 5. But yeah, man, it's been I've been getting in disputes with these Green Bay Packer fans who are delusional, who seem to think the next 6 games on their schedule are not going to be tough for them. They seem to think that Jordan Love has figured it all out, and they're going to run the table. And I've had to bring them back down to reality, because, like you say, the reality is we're sitting atop the NFC North right now. We have 8 wins. They have 5. And their next 6 games are against teams who are going to be playing spoiler. We played spoiler last year against the Packers, and you have teams out there now who know they're not going to get anything, and playing spoiler is going to be a confidence boost to these teams. I don't see them winning out. I don't see them being a threat with making the playoffs. So my hat's off to them. We handed them an L in Lambeau. It was only fitting that they punched us back in the mouth. And again, this is, we're a young team, and coaches and coordinators and everyone holds a responsibility in how we prepared for this game and how we executed. No one is far from blame. From Dan Campbell to Aaron Glenn to Ben Johnson. I really think we should have established the run. We should have been really just tearing it to them in the run game. We should have been dominant as far as both of our backs just getting the carries. But yeah, overall, man, we expected to win. We were expected to win, but ultimately this is the NFL, man, and teams around this time of year. This was the Packers Super Bowl. So my hat's off to them. But like I said, man, next game we have the Saints, we have the Vikings 2 more times, and we have the Bears. So I think my goal this year was to put the NFC North on notice. I wasn't one of these ultra Kool-Aid drinking fans who said Super Bowl a bust. I said how you win and how you really push the culture forward as you insert dominance within your own division. So we need to insert dominance. So we split with Green Bay. We have an opportunity to sweep the Bears. We also have an opportunity to sweep the Vikings. This is what we need to look forward to. This wasn't going to happen overnight. And my hat's off to the Lions for already, winning 8 games. But the mission is not over. We have to shut these clowns up in NFC North. And the best way to do that is to lick our wounds. Our coaches sit at the round table, discuss what we need to do, discuss what schemes we need to run, discuss adjustments that need to be made, and insert it into the game and really get the best out of our players. That's all I got. I'm done ranting.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. After what they did to us yesterday, I can't argue with no damn Packer fan. I can't let them have all the delusion that they have. We was high about a lot of things too, right? So at the end of the day, after what they did to us on the national stage and how they did it, they can say whatever they want. I'm telling you right now, I don't see a team that can win multiple playoff games, because if we go against a mobile quarterback, we still get that problem.
Facts. Yeah, I don't see us winning multiple playoff games. So again, I'm right there with you. And again, I'm just saying these guys seem to think that Jordan Love has figured it out, and that these teams that they're going to have to play in these next 6 games are just going to roll over and they're going to somehow.
Even if Jordan Love figured it out, I don't even care if he did or he didn't. You won't see him again till next year or if they make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So whether he figured it out or not, it's not of a matter of discussion for me, because I don't care about that. What we need to do is instead of trying to focus on the pack, we need to figure out why we keep having the same thing happening. See, I absolve Aaron Glenn for any of this. You know why? Because there is nobody on this team that I can go, yeah, that's the guy. Not on defense.
Yeah, I agree. We don't have that voice.
Defense.
We don't have that voice on defense.
I'm not even being super critical, because I don't expect us to win every game. I get upset with how we lose the games and what people say to the games that we lost. That's what throws me off.
Agree. And we talked about this we talked about this before. These quarterbacks having these gaudy QBR ratings, and I'm talking about triple digits, 125, 114, 112, the last 3 QBs we faced. That's unacceptable. You don't win games when QBs are playing like that. I'm sorry. The QBR rating is there for a reason. You mean to tell me Jordan Love has 3 touchdowns, and the only reason why he had so many incompletions wasn't because we were deflecting the ball or nothing like that. It were overthrows or underthrows, or he just threw the ball away. So this whole notion that, we're winning games, but at what cost? You know what that does to a defense when they see the quarterbacks who put up these gaudy numbers against them? They're going, oh, well, hey, at least we won. No, you're getting complacent. No, you need to be like, take it, especially me. I'm competitive. I'll be like, oh, no, the next QB ain't getting that on me. I'm sorry. At some point, somebody on that defense has to step up and be the voice. Somebody on that defense has to be the alpha. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a player we signed to a 2-year contract. Someone has to step up and say, hey, this is not acceptable. This is not how we play football. Detroit is known as the no-fly zone. That's what they're known for. That's the talk around town has been that way for you. Hey, this is no-fly zone. We don't let people come in our home and disrespect us. We don't let people come in and put their feet on our couches with their shoes on. This is not something we do.
But we do, though, right?
But we do. Exactly.
But we do, though. And so when you look at why we do, it falls at people's feet before it gets to the defensive coordinator. Because I don't care who you have as a defensive coordinator. I don't care who that person is that you have as a defensive coordinator. None of that will matter. None of it will matter who you get as a defensive coordinator when you don't have the people to execute the plan that you want.
And yes, you are right.
And you don't have them.
I give you that. Look, I give you that. But listen, at some point in time, you have to go, okay, what was Jack Campbell good at in college? What was Malcolm good at in college? What were these guys good at in college? Okay, they were good at playing this way. So maybe you sprinkle some of that in there to mentally get their confidence going because they're familiar with what it is you want them to do. Right?
Would you believe if I told you that he's doing that?
Yeah, I don't see that in Jack though. Let unleash
Jack.
You
know why you don't see it in Jack? You know why you don't see it in Jack? Because I'm telling you that's who Jack is. It's the reason why I made that video saying that I wouldn't take him in the first round. I highlighted these. This is who he is.
You did.
This is who this man is.
Okay.
So you're and they're trying everything to get him involved. If he's not taking a
let
bad
him go.
angle, he's not filling the right gaps. These are little things that I'm picking up on. This is who he is.
Fair enough, but let him go. Let him go get the QB. Let him go chase the quarterback. Make him feel like hey, Jack, you know what? We want you to go in there and blitz. Go get that QB. You have to do something to trick him to at least make him go, oh, okay, I'm gonna go get the quarterback. We never know what he's capable of doing. Maybe he picks up 2 or 3 sacks and now his confidence is high. And now next thing you know, he's like, oh, okay, I'm it's not gonna happen overnight. I get that, but confidence, I'm telling you, confidence goes a long way, man. If he goes in there and sacks a quarterback and causes a fumble or something, man, he's gonna be juiced. He's gonna be like, okay. And then who knows? Right now, all I see are a bunch of players out there who are looking back towards Anzalone, trying to figure out, what are we doing? What are we doing? And Anzalone's looking around like he might do a signal. And it's like, okay, at some point in time, you have to have even any sport. You kind of have it. You kind of have intuitive things like, okay, I'm not letting anything come over the middle. I don't see that. I see a bunch of people who are just standing out there who are trying to react as opposed to making them other team react what we're doing. And we're not going to win games like that.
A lot of that is not on Aaron Glenn. He can only use what he has, and what he has is not enough. If you want to hold tight for me to bring in my next guest, man,
yes, sir.
Back or how you want to do it, but I appreciate it. I'm not
appreciate
knocking you, and I'm just telling you that he can only use what he can. Let me bring in my next guest, Mr. Jon Kapler is in the building. What up, though? Thank you for patiently waiting.
Oh boy, what was that crap we were forced to watch yesterday? Holy shit!
Well, I mean, it's football. What you got for me?
That's called football? I mean, maybe junior high football. Like, I mean, the fumble that Jared Goff threw, hold on to it. Take the sack. I mean, maybe they force the ball to get the touchdown anyways later on when we punt it. But hold on to the ball. This whole culture thing. When is this going to show up? This thing that they call culture that's supposedly going to work.
Well, I think the culture is different, and I think that the culture does exist. I think that there is a culture here. The difference is it's one thing to speak on culture as if there hasn't been a change in the culture, but it has. There's a lot of evidence that points to a change in the culture, including getting down in adversity and still fighting. Where we're starting to see the problems come in is on areas that we've already addressed that we need, like linebacker lives matter, right? Or you need interior D linemen. Or how about Brad Holmes bring in real defensive help and stop giving all the weapons to the offense? Like, you look at these different things, that stuff is starting to come to roost. But the culture part of it has definitely 100% changed. It is 100% a different culture. I wouldn't dare say
players showing up and playing and doing well instead of this. But
we can't say that, John.
We'll draft a defensive tackle for the future, and then we'll have a guy named Benito Jones, who's a third stringer that we can coach up, and they'll get a first string play 1 out of every 11 plays. That's good enough. No, that's not good enough. You need studs. I'm sick of this. We can get guys that we can coach up slowly. Sometimes you just need talent that is there that can play from day fucking one. We can coach them up and we can take credit for crap. I'm done with. I want talent that is going to go out there and do things and help us win. What is Benito Jones doing? What is this guy that I've never heard of at defensive tackle that got 1 sack last week? Congratulations to him, whoever he is. But it's not enough. You should be beating the Packers. You shouldn't be nail-bite clinching, barely beating the Bears.
No, I mean, I would agree that you should not be barely beating the Bears or losing to the Packers, but I also don't think that revolves around culture. I think that it revolves around the lack of personnel being present for us to do a lot of the things that we want to do. And when you don't have the personnel that's there. But yesterday's game was lost solely on the shoulders of the quarterback. Those fumbles were huge. They were huge. And as much as I can point to the offensive line being beat down, which they were, even a quarterback got to learn how to take a sack. I'm sorry. He's trying to scramble. He's trying to scramble and fumble the ball. He's trying to throw the ball for some reason. I don't even know why. Just take the sack. Sometimes I'll never forget this watching Tom Brady, and I know he's considered the GOAT and everything, but I remember watching him, Peyton Manning, and all my favorite quarterbacks sometimes just hit the dirt to avoid even being hit and fight another day.
Yep.
And we're not
just
getting
take
that.
The sack for what it is, scrap the play, and move on to the next play.
And that's what it boils down to. Is to me, it's not necessarily culture. It's just more so of being able to have personnel to do a lot of the things. And right now, the play calling on offense has been suspect. And on defense, I can't even say that the play calling on defense has been bad. I don't think we have the talent.
No, we don't have the talent because we wanted, like I said, do this whole, we can get a second, third string guy and we can just coach him up and take credit for it. No, sometimes you just need talent. And I think Brad Holmes needs to see that, learn from his mistake of, I just want to get guys to coach up so our coaching staff can take credit. Nah, that way has failed this year. Go out, sign free agent talent, draft good talent. Go out, get Wilkerson from Miami. Get good drafts. I don't care if there's some blemishes on them. If a guy can play, a guy can play. Part of your thing about culture is we have culture to make college players into grown men, right? I'm not going to say his name, but there's a certain guy we could have drafted. You have the culture, right? You can make his personal life mistakes a lesson and turn him into a good man. That's part of culture. Then believe in your culture, take the talent, and take whatever player that has these personal life issues, get him into a room, say, Bud, we're going to get you into this program. We're going to get you into this program. We're going to keep you away from these people so you're not getting yourself in trouble, and you're just going to focus on football because you have the talent. But instead, no, we're going to take a guy that's for the future that we can mold like clay. But he's not going to play this year. He's going to get like 3 snaps. Because he's the poor man's version of the Philadelphia Eagles big man defensive tackle that they took last year. Awesome, a poor man's version. That's going to help us.
Yeah, I'm over this whole entire project players, hurt player thing, and
We're
I agree with you.
Players. Oh, it's okay. He has high, capital P, capital O, potential, high potential. Fuck that shit. Yeah, potential don't win you games.
Well, I'm with it. You ain't gonna get too much fight out of me. I do got a Packers fan. Oh, Packer fan, what happened, Dave? Get back here, Dave. The Packer fan is back there patiently waiting. He got to come back. But I do want to get the Packer fan in because I want to hear his take on what he saw and what he thinks happened with his team in this game because his team won, right? He didn't even think his team was going to win this game. So the fact that they did, I love to hear what he got to say. I appreciate you as always, John.
Thank you, man.
Hey, you drive safe out there and enjoy the rest of the day. Old Timer Dave, I saw your name come up. It's going up. It's coming down. I need you back in here, brother, because I want you to be able to talk about your Packers wins and the loss of the Lions, you know, what they did. So there you go, brother. My man, Old Timer Dave. Y'all don't know this. Old Timer Dave been rocking with me for the longest. Even though he's a Packer fan, he still rocks with me, and I appreciate that. Old Timer Dave, what's going on, brother?
Not a lot, Luke. Not a lot.
Hey, man, listen. Let me ask you a question, brother, because you know your team got the win. You didn't even pick them to win this game, did you?
No, sir, I did not. I thought we was going to get spanked just like last time.
Tell me your thoughts on what you saw from as a Packers fan and a person who's watching this game. What did you see? What stood out to you?
I saw a very lackluster Detroit team that looked like shit. Straight up.
Was at least a well-formed
side of the ball I blamed it on yesterday, and you couldn't put a blame on any side. It was the whole damn team.
Okay.
Straight up from the top to the bottom.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. I the only good part to me was the defense. They got enough stops to get the offense the ball back. We just never got the points.
They did. It's a proven fact that if you put pressure on Jordan Love, he can't function. And they just didn't do it. And I'm sorry, but our offensive line sucks. Straight up sucks. And you couldn't even get past them.
I believe it was you who brought it to my attention that they had a 7th round offensive tackle playing left tackle.
Yep. And to be honest, he's doing a pretty decent job.
but your number 2 overall pass rusher couldn't beat him.
Nope. Sure couldn't.
It's crazy.
Now, also to be honest, I haven't seen Rashawn Gary play like that in a long time. Because
I'm gonna tell you the truth. They were so in their head that it just kept going downhill. Like, I will never forget this, right? Short story, but I'm gonna make it quick. I don't generally drink. And I didn't, at this time, I didn't really know what alcohol was, to be honest with y'all. But Mike Hard Lemonade does not taste like alcohol. It just doesn't.
No, you're right. It doesn't.
And somewhere between bottle 6 and 7, I can't tell you too much because I had to be reminded via video. I get this girl And I'm thinking it's finna go down. And nothing's working. And the more I thought about it, the more I tried to make it work, nothing happened. You know what I came to the conclusion of? I was so deep in my head and going off my ass off the alcohol that there was nothing I was going to do to get that thing up. It wasn't until I got home, sobered up, that it just happened. I was like, well, what the hell? Now, why is that important? They were clearly in their heads. And the more they stayed in there, the more bad things happened, the more things got worse for them. They wasn't going to reset themselves until they were out of that situation. And when you look at what Rashawn Gary did, he really didn't do anything different from what he did. He just ran around people. Him and Preston Smith literally just ran around them. Taylor Decker and Sewell did nothing. Nothing.
Nope.
Just
there was
ran
nothing
around.
they could do. Nothing they could do. I did hear an interview. I don't remember which Packer that did it. But ever since you guys beat him in Lambeau this year, they put this date on the calendar. They've been looking to and working towards this game. They've done nothing but think about this game. They were ready for this game. Even with the short week, they were more than ready. That first play of the game, LaFleur was going to change his mind. And he had told the quarterback that he wasn't going to call that play anymore. He changed his mind. And Love told him no. He says, I want that play. That's not what Christian does. He's got to have that play, first play. Let's get it done. So that's what they called. And it worked. Now, that's not saying that you guys still shouldn't have beat us. You straight up still should have. Because I saw a lot of stuff on our side that didn't work either.
And not to mention the drops. I believe y'all had more drops than we did.
You did. We did.
And on top of that, the only difference was when the quarterback would miss open targets. Like, that's why I like Jordan Love to me, like Jared Goff. If you are a legit NFL quarterback, you can't miss wide open receivers.
Nope.
You can't.
Nope.
We out here trying to play football and you throwing parrots, pigeons, ducks, chickens, ostrich, dodo birds. You throwing everything but goddamn eagles and hawks and pinpoint accuracy. You're doing the opposite. And I'm just telling you, watching that game, I'm like, okay, cool. There's a lot of people who jumped on the Kirby Joseph a ball hawk. And I kept telling everybody he's Tracy Walker. Who, by the way, actually played well. Tracy Walker played well. Kirby Joseph, and I'm agreeing with Willie Ross on this. He
Yep.
I'm not being
I won't
funny.
argue it. We had this conversation last year after the game.
See, if I'm saying that deep bomb that they did to Christian Watson was the first test. If you knock that ball down, they don't call that play until late again. After that, I would have came out the very next on my first drive and dropped the bum on their ass. I'd have did the same thing. Been like, we can play this game all day.
Speaking of that, I said to you yesterday in Discord about Goff looking like he was lost. And that's the exact reason that Goff is no longer in Los Angeles, because he got that way too.
Yep.
And they just knew that they weren't going to get anything out of him. And that's why they traded for Stafford.
Yep.
And how's that worked out for him? Well, they got their Super Bowl, but that's about it.
And Black Spirit brings up a very good point where he talks about when they elected to take the ball first. I think the commentators even said, well, that's not something you usually see.
That's right. And that's not. I was shocked.
But when they came out the first play and threw a bum, I went, and then they caught it. I went, oh, we're going to have one of them days. For me, I felt that it was going to be one of them days when we missed the extra point.
Of course, we had to miss one.
But to me, I'm saying these things because we've been having these problems all season. Your next game coming up, I believe, is against the Saints.
Yours is, yeah. Ours is against the Chiefs.
Yeah, y'all against the Chiefs. I'm just talking about in terms of us. Ours is against the Saints, right? You can't lose that game. You can't lose that game because here's the reality, people. The 49ers won yesterday. I'm gonna say it again. You're not even forget the first seed. You're fighting to maintain the second seed.
Yep.
Like I want you to understand something. Right now, if the league ended today, your game would be against the Vikings. You're fighting for the second seed right now, people. Think about this. You're out here scrambling to get the second seed just so the human, your team can have the home field advantage until they go and get the number 1 seed. Meanwhile, Eagles out here waving DNs. And I want to address that because somebody brought it up. Old-timer Dave, don't go nowhere on me now.
I'm here.
Somebody brought it up, so I got to address it.
I saw that.
All right, about Derek Barnett.
Yep.
Here's my problem. I'm tired of average players. When Derek Barnett came out of college, I loved every bit of him. The Eagles, he lost so much confidence, but here's my problem why I would not touch Derek Barnett and why this is not of any interest to me. Look at who he played next to. That entirety of his career, he has played next to some stellar people. And he has been average at best.
At best, yep. He has his games, but
the numbers is right there for you. The quarterback hits and stuff, that's cool, because look who's playing next to him. That's cool. But remember who's playing next to him.
But look at the last 2 years.
Listen, don't even get me started on that. I know he got hurt last year.
He got hurt last year, yeah, right away.
Yeah.
But still.
But they can do this because they don't.
Nothing there.
Nope.
Nothing at all. Since 2019, there's absolutely nothing.
So bringing him in to do what? You already got this average ass player already. You got him in Charles Harris. You got him in Julian Okoye. You got the average already. I'm okay with average players. I'm good on that. What we should have did was we should have called up which, by the way, I bring up that one point about people making moves because the Commanders fired Del Rio after they get beat by the Cowboys. Like, come on now. This is the stuff that I'm trying to get y'all to understand. We suffered because we thought that we can buy. You know what we did, Old-Timer Dave? You know that Crazy Glue and Gorilla Glue are good brands of glue. You know that, right?
Yep.
Elmer's Glue is a good brand of glue, right?
It is.
You know what we did? We went and bought the cheapest Scotch tape.
Dollar store
Glue. Sprinkled a little bit here, a little bit there, and we wondering why the birdhouse fell apart the minute a bird landed on it. It fell apart because you didn't get the right materials in the first place to have a sturdy foundation. Your defense has been performing with eggshells. The games that we're winning are because your defense are performing enough to get the ball back to your offense.
Yep.
What has happened is the offense has put the defense in impossible situations, including Dan Campbell's untimely fourth down call, where even I had to agree with Jeremy on this one. Jeremy Reisman over there, shout out to them from Proud of Detroit. They, when he says that when it was 2 yards left earlier in the game, you can go for it there. Sure. But when he went for it, to which he admits, okay, Dan Campbell admits that was his fault. That was a mistake. He should have never put the defense in that position. And you know what?
That was,
I agree.
that was actually absolutely stupid.
That was dumb. It was dumb. I'm okay. Listen, I get it. I get it. What's going on, Cranston? You know, I get it.
When an offensive player, the commentator, Greg Olson, made the comment that it doesn't take a lot of brain cells to understand you don't run that play against that kind of formation. I mean, he saw it from the booth.
Literally,
he saw it coming from the booth.
Listen, yes. And here's the crazy part about it. They saw it coming. You would think, you would have thought that they would have said, you know what? Let's scratch that. Sometimes we got too many dumb jocks. I would have audible out of that play and punted it away. And the coach would have been like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, saving you from yourself. They knew it was coming.
And he said that as well. They need to have something where they can check out of that play because they definitely needed to.
Right.
I mean, it didn't wind up in points. Maybe a field goal. I don't remember. Or we turned it over on downs or something.
Now,
but
I will say this. I will say this. A lot of people are pointing to the side to the point that, oh, this might save us from a Jared Goff extension. You think Brad Holmes is not going to still extend his quarterback? He had an out from this man for one season and restructured the contract to show his commitment to him. And you now think he's not going to re-sign him? Oh, I feel bad for you who believe this.
He gets in those, and to be honest, the first time I really noticed it from him, because it was the only time I really got to see him, was in a playoff game against us in Lambeau. It was like he checked out of the game about mid-second quarter and he wasn't even around anymore. His body was there, but his mind wasn't. And that's the way he looked to me yesterday. I even made the comment to you yesterday as it got towards the end of the game. He just like he was physically exhausted.
Again, I've had theories, and shout out to you, Malik Kaito. How I said that right? He says, you know, it definitely might save us from an extension. We drafted Hooker. I'm gonna just tell you right now, if Hooker was dressed yesterday, after that second fumble, the whole entire stadium would have been chanting Hooker, Hooker,
without
Hooker. But I told y'all what they were doing. They strategically are keeping him out because they didn't want there to be no controversy whatsoever. That's what they did. Now, I got to address
Hooker
this.
Is not going to start until he can go into practice or go into a preseason and he can outright take the job away from Goff. That's what he has to do. He has to outright take it away from him before they're even going to give him a chance.
Well, listen.
Because until then, they have an experienced NFL quarterback at the helm who can manage a game and can win if he has to.
You know something that dawned on me too about yesterday, and I have to eat crow on this one because I have been totally against mobile quarterbacks. I do not like mobile quarterbacks. I despise mobile quarterbacks because they rely on their legs too much for my soul, just too much, right? But even I have to backpedal on this. There were a few runs and a few plays where Jared Goff tried to run and
yep.
it was not there, right? However, I will say this. If that was Hendon Hooker, I think we get a whole lot more first downs.
I won't argue that point either.
Because his mobility, even the fake play that they called to Jordan Love, show you how far we were from being where we wanted to be.
The defense was so locked in on A.J. Dillon They had no idea that Love was going to do that.
Well,
None.
Man.
Even Goff could have pulled that one off.
Now, Super Saiyan Lion says Hooker was drafted to be a solid backup. So was Brock Purdy. My, have the tables turned.
Exactly.
Trey Lance was drafted to be the future. He's not there no more.
Well,
things change.
Let's look at it another way. Let's look at it another way. When Love got to the Packers, of course, everybody knew that he was brought in to be Rodgers' replacement at some point. But he sat the entire first year. He never dressed. All he did was sit the bench. And that's where they kept him, learning, watching. His time is going to come. But it has to be when he can outright show them that he'll be able to do it. And then you'll see Goff leave.
My man, Lion Rebel say, shout out to Dan Spanos for saying Goff scrambling looks like a newborn giraffe, and now I can't. Oh my God. Yeah, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. Old Timer Dave, like I said, I'm giving you more time because your team won. You know what I'm saying? And you showed up when they lost, and you was honest about it. So, but I gotta show this. I gotta show this. Okay.
Yep.
I want y'all to just see this. Let me slow this down just a smidge. Okay. Just a smidge. Watch this. This is the first play of the game. Now, mind you, I'm showing this play for two reasons. They said that the Lions didn't blitz, but he's reacting to the run and the play action. He's doing it. But just watch this. Now, he's reacting to it. Look at all this. Look at this. Like, bruh, nobody is near him. Well, Luke, look, he's getting double teamed. Where's the counter move? But Luke, where's the counter move? Look how long this ball hung in the air. Now, to the people who's all hyped about Cam Sutton, I told y'all this when we first got him. He sucks at covering deep routes. If you want to expose him, go deep, per usual. How does this even happen? Let's go a step further. It's 2nd and 2. Now, we all talk about chips and double teams. That's a tight end. Right? Beautiful. 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 This is how it's supposed to look. And consistently. Now, watch when we go just one more play after that. Watch and pay attention, people. I just want you to see it in time. Wasn't even ready for the snap. It's one-on-one. Come on. This right here pissed me off because of two reasons. One, he's bull rushing. No problem. Ball's already out. Brian Branch, this can't happen. Look where he catch this ball at, y'all. Look at it. Look how far he takes Brian Branch into the end zone.
To be fair, I didn't think Love had that kind of throw in him. I couldn't believe that myself when I saw that read. Because when they show it from the other side, there's no room there. I don't know how that ball got in there.
I can show y'all things that will make your head spin, but I just don't have it in me. We got to be better. And it is not just because we lost the game that I'm pointing this out. It's we have to be better. You're not beating nobody with this kind of stuff. You're not. We have to be better. They whooped our ass with 4 down linemen. That's just the truth. They whooped us up with 4 down linemen.
Yeah, because we didn't. If there was any blitzes, I didn't see them because we didn't need to.
Why would you? When you got 4 down linemen whooping ass, come on, why would you? And my only problem is I just need more. That's all. I just need more. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear about referees. I'm gonna bring back in Rumble, so we can get a few more minutes of crosstalk. So maybe he want to ask you some questions, old timer Dave. But I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't. Rumble.
What's up, Ed?
Listen, man, I'm trying my best not to lose it. I think I'm doing a very good job. But go ahead.
No, you are. You are, man.
Because it's the same stuff I've been talking about, and I can't never bring it up because it's this, it's that. It's like, come on, man.
No, and to your point, man, Hutch, that same tight end, I believe, ended up tossing him and going out for a route and catching the ball.
When he got the ball
we talked about that.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that on a stream we did a couple days ago where we were like, "Yo, why is he letting the tight end manhandle him like that?" He literally threw Hutch down to the point to where Hutch was kissing the turf, and then went out and made a game-winning or potentially a game-winning drive. I believe that might have been the last touchdown they scored or the second touchdown, but
second touchdown.
Right, but plays like that in the red zone, you have to be disciplined. You cannot allow the tight end, especially a second overall pick in Hutch, you can't allow a tight end to abuse them like that at home.
I'm going to just make matters even worse. That tight end,
yep,
is a third string tight end.
Exactly. See, old time Daver, I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were to see.
Now Luke knows I get my digs in when I get a chance.
I want to show y'all, even Jared Goff on a good play, how he can still hit all my nerves. Now they seeing 5. This is literally called hat on hat. He got somebody. 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 All right. Now, I believe that's Dan Skipper. That might be Graham Glasgow. Now, matter of fact, that might be Graham Glasgow. But good grief. Now, Rumble, you can contest to this. I told them, while y'all talking about Jonah Jackson, you don't need him. Kenny Clark, no, I ain't worried about him. Okay. But this pass, though, look where this ball is at. Now, this would be considered a pressure for them, but it's a positive play. But look where this ball is at. He threw it behind him.
Right.
This defender shouldn't. And I know he's thinking, like, if I throw it behind him, this guy can't hit him. No, put it low so he can go down and get it.
Yep. Or put it deeper in the back of the end zone, even. Like, even if you put it back deeper in the end zone, man, like put it to where only he can get it. Because, like you said, those two guys are diving. And then you throw it behind them. Well, guess what? The defender's behind them. Like,
Laporta made a good
throw it either higher.
There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And it could have went bad real fast.
Absolutely. My goodness. Yeah, I see him. I see him. That's what happens.
Even in the good, I find something wrong. Now let's jump forward. How, Sway?
I think the wind was blowing. The wind was blowing extremely hard inside the dome.
Clearly. Let's go back to another play. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Now that should be a hold. This should be a hold down here. But I'm just sorry. I'm not looking for penalties and I'm not looking for the referees, but this should be a hold. But it's not even that's my problem. Because this right here, I can't blame on anybody else. But look at this. To show you how inconsistent he was, he had guys out here by themselves. He throws it to a guy in tight coverage. It's contested. And who's that on the play? Sutton. Another deep pass. I see what I see on the tape and I go by. Let's go to one more play. It's 3rd and 8. This is a chance. This is it right here. They said he didn't blitz, mind you, right? This first quarter. How many people y'all see coming? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I keep hearing all this talks about he didn't blitz and Aaron Glenn. And I'm like, we was not watching the same damn game. Nobody gets home. Nobody gets home. Nobody's going to know. They're all going to know. Nobody's going to know. I'm serious. Look at this. Next play. It's 1st and 10. Next play. Watch. They say that he didn't try to bring no pressure early in the game. This is just not true. It's not. It's just not true. And this happened in the Bears game. I can show it. But watch. Pay attention. This right here is the Jack Campbell play, I call it. Watch Jack Campbell. Oh, snubs. Okay, let me see what's going on back here. Let me get back. Okay. All right. Where the hell are you going? Why is nobody but Aleem McNeil can get through?
Not only that, why did they drop so far back? They already had 2 people dropping back.
And this is not on the defensive coordinator.
Right.
Nope. That's all about them.
Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell drop back. Somebody's got to be vocal and go, I got man. Well, that way that other guy knows. Right. Then go get him. I got him. Communication.
A.J. Dillon is not the fastest thing in the world. He's harder to tackle,
right.
But he's not the fastest thing in the world.
Look at Josh Pascal. This should be a block in the back. I don't care they didn't call it, but it should be. But look at Josh Pascal. He's still moving up the field, which forced him to go out. Cool. All right. He's maintaining outside. All right. Cool.
Jeez.
Where is Kirby Joseph doing? If it's one thing that irritates me, is breaking down too early. Why is he breaking down back here?
He almost got picked by the block. So he essentially took himself out of the play, man.
Why is he?
He really did.
Why is he blocking?
Right.
He broke down right there. Now watch what he does.
Jeez. 2 missed tackles. Good grief. Yeah, I expect more reps. I expect more drills. I expect a lot with these upcoming practices. It's unbearable to see these guys miss so many tackles, man, when they matter. It's incredible.
Look at my man Derek Barnes out here. I want y'all to understand something. This is not fair to a linebacker. I'm just gonna put it out there.
No,
this is not fair to a line. He's going here. He's got him. He watching. He's got over the top. This is not that's freaking Christian Watson. Why is he looking in the backfield is beyond me. But this tells me he probably was supposed to be like the spy guy. That's what I'm guessing. Because he didn't go too far. Yep, he like the spy guy. He got to be. He's got to be.
Yep, that's what he's doing.
This is not fair to a linebacker, bro. Another missed tackle.
Oh, look, a missed tackle.
Some more missed tackle. That's 2.
Wow.
That's because he didn't tackle. He tried to take the ball away.
I rest my case with people. All I'm going to say to y'all is this, people. This ain't the time to panic. The Lions are still going to win the division. The Lions are still going to host a playoff game. Who we're going to play, I don't know. But if we don't start calling plays better early on offense, because this game was about a lack of complementary football.
Mm.
And while the defense, to me, was probably the best part of what happened yesterday, it was a lack of complementary football that doomed us. The quarterback and his inability to not hurt the team hurt us in a way that we cannot keep up with, and we should not be forced to keep up with. But the reality is, you know, you have to be able to understand that we are missing. We're missing on a lot of things.
Yeah. I got a couple questions for Old Timer Dave, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So, out of your next 6 games, Old Timer Dave, what do you see guys' record? Where do you think? 3-3 at best.
Yeah.
Okay. And who do you think your your threats are?
I don't know if we can beat Kansas City. It depends which Kansas City team shows up. Because the one that showed up the last couple of weeks, maybe we can beat.
Okay.
We lose at least one to the Vikings. And it also depends on which Bears team shows up. If the Bears team shows up that played against you guys, we could be in for a problem. Otherwise, we should be able to beat the Bears.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got Carolina left. Hopefully that's a win. It should be. But so.
Yeah, that's kind of where I got you guys going to. Only because
now, I was going to make a comment on that.
Right.
If by chance, oh yes, we can black. There's no doubt about that. If by chance we do sneak into the playoffs.
Okay.
Luke made a comment earlier, there's no way in hell we're going. But if we do by chance sneak into the playoffs, I'm going to remember Luke said that, and he knows I will. And he knows I'll call him out on it.
Well, I mean, listen, here's how I'm looking at it. You got Kansas City. You still got to fight with the Vikings, right? So y'all schedule is not the most generous.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Like,
hold on. The Giants, let's not forget the Giants who rained on Minnesota's parade last year. You know what I mean? People act as if that team, they act as if the thing I said earlier about teams this time of year who know they aren't going to go to the playoffs tend to play spoiler. This helps with their confidence. This helps them be like, okay, well, they didn't make it. We kept them from making it. I mean, that's just how we are as competitive. That's how competitive people are. If we can prevent a team from going and we're not going, it's like, okay, you know, they're not going. We prevented them from going. I know it sounds like trivial and
even with the 3-3 idea though, Rumble, even with if they want to play spoiler or not, they still have a problem. They have 2 division games that they got to play. That could be a challenge for them, and they're already behind the 8 ball with their win-loss record as it is, right? And then one of the games that could be a trap game is going to be one of the NFC South teams, either the Panthers or the Bucks can sneak up on them if they don't come out prepared.
Facts.
So you know, realistically, they can't really lose none of these damn games down the stretch. And if they lose to the Chiefs, and they get a second
have to win out.
Yeah, you're gonna have a problem. Yeah. So Seattle is their biggest obstacle right now that they got to worry about. But again, that's you know, that's another level. Now I do want to put this up there because I did forget to talk about this before we get up out of here, and I want to bring this up. The Pick'em League, good people. Let me go ahead and give y'all the NRB for the Pick'em League. Right now, Shays is killing us. I keep telling y'all need to do your tiebreakers. They make a difference. As you can see, Shay and Super Saiyan Lion are 1 and 2 so far in the division in terms of us, getting it going. And then Adam Whitehead is number 3. But they have the exact same record with the exact same total number of games picked correctly. The difference is tiebreakers, and Shades is killing them in the tiebreakers. That's where you're starting to see the separation. I'm not too far behind. Detroit Drew, shout out to him. He's at 5. He's pushing it up. Titus Young, Jamison Williams is at 4. I am literally 1 spot behind, and that's because I forgot a whole week. Like, I just forgot a whole week. Good grief, I was mad that I forgot that week because I was like, oh my God. But you got me at 6. You got Jimmy Stoneful at 7. You have JT Sports at 8. Lion King 313 at 9. And to round off your top 10 is NFC Champs at 10. We got a few tiebreakers in the top 15 with Dirty Gloves Williams and Blue Jay Sarge. That dude, DSPN, who did a great video recently, having some conversational points. Big T is at 14, who actually won the Pick'em League last year. He's struggling this year. G. Carson is number 15. Gunner is 16. I got the Magic pick. Beautiful name. 17. My man Kapler, Lions fans, 86. It's 18. Gino is 19. And Shaq, man, it's right there at 20. Mr. Marcus, 42, is at 21. So that's where you at. Now, you start to get down to the bottom. 28, we start to look a little different, and the numbers get there. Michigan, man, 100%. I guarantee you that's Malik. I guarantee you that's Malik. He's been struggling. It's been a rough ride. But yeah, that's how our board is panning out. It's still time to win this thing. Get your picks in. People forget all the time, and you can make comebacks. So make sure you don't miss that. You don't want to miss that opportunity. All right, let me see. Make sure I ain't getting nothing. I ain't forgetting nobody. Let me go through from the comments real quick. I don't want to miss nothing. I'm telling Kirby looks lost all the time. Hamilton at 2 would have been great also, or at 12. I don't think Kyle Hamilton was in that same draft, was he? Oh, yes, he was. But yeah. Yeah. Kyle Hamilton, Lions fans don't watch the Ravens that close. Kyle Hamilton has been balling for the Ravens since he got there. And I'm sorry, he would have been so much more of a difference maker. Like Kirby, I'm not mad at him, but it is what it is. I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, it is what it is. I just want more consistency. That's all. Packers can go 5-1 for real. They'll beat Minnesota. They'll beat the Giants. They'll beat the Panthers. They'll beat the Bears and the Bucks. Same thing I said yesterday. Jack Campbell lets the receiver go right by him on one play and didn't adjust. Yeah, don't push him. Don't shove him. It's a scene in Remember the Titans where he's getting upset with his teammate, and he said, you let him go by every single time. Push him, jerk him, do something. Don't let him just go by you. Jack Campbell so far has been exactly who I thought he was. That's all I'm going to say. Let me see. I dropped off for the first from yesterday. Damn. Yesterday's game. Damn. Yeah. Hey, listen. You was holding it down for a minute, but times have changed. Altimer Dave, give people your final thoughts.
Don't lose hope, Detroit. Don't lose hope. I haven't. Hey, I'm still there backing you guys. But,
yeah.
I also know that Green Bay is my number one. So,
well, they got their work cut out for them. It better be a lot of spinning this upcoming offseason. I'm going to tell you that right now. It better be a lot of spinning. Shout out to my man, Detroit.Sports. What up, brother? We
should be able to do some spending next year, too, because we lose $60 million that we get back. So,
yeah, I forgot what our cap going to probably be next year, but it'll come to me in a minute. But yeah, it's okay. Everybody going to get better. We got to get it together. You tired of fair? Yeah, I've been tired.
We are actually doing way better than I thought that this young team would. With our oldest wide receiver only being in the league 2 years, and we've only got one in the receivers period. We've only got one that's been in the league longer than that. So, and that's a tight end who isn't even playing. So,
okay, yeah. 90 million is what my man Patty Grimes said we got next year. Cool. I know it's a good number. I still remember. Rumble, give the people your final thoughts, man.
And I'm going to take a page out of Old Time Daver's book. Yeah, you guys don't lose hope either. You guys are rebuilding. You guys are one, if not the youngest team in the NFL. But to the Lions fans, Detroit Lions fan faithful, yeah, let's not lose hope here. Again, we're rebuilding, and I know you guys hate hearing that word, but this is the first time in my 30-plus years as a fan that we have a competent front office. We have competency as far as coordinators and coaches. We have a freaking winning record for at least the past 2 seasons so far. We are over 500. We are 8-3. We just experienced, another loss on Thanksgiving. I get that. But let's remind the NFC North why we are 8-3 with these upcoming weeks and having to face the Bears again and the Vikings. My goal has always been to win the NFC crown first, the NFC North crown first, because that way we can assert our dominance in these other NFC teams once we get that confidence in our own division. So I applaud you guys for being critical. I applaud you guys for your criticism, but don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. I believe our guys will rebound, and I believe we might end up going 4-2 with these next 6 games. That's how confident I am. So again, I appreciate you, Luke. I appreciate you, Old Timer Dave. You guys are awesome. Thank you to the chat as always for interacting with us. And yeah, man, on to the next one.
Yeah, my man Detroit.Sports says, sorry for being late. I sure had something to say. I'll let you jump in and talk your talk for a minute. I'll give you a second. Give you a few minutes, you know.
I'm going to jump out of here, Luke.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Old Timer Dave. I appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all.
Hey,
y'all be good.
Yes, you. Listen, you know, it's a little different for me. I'm not defeated. I didn't think that we were going to win all these games. I just figured we got to win the games we're supposed to win. And that has been one of the things that we have dealt with before, where we should win the game that we should win, and we lose games that we shouldn't. So it happens. It's happened all this year. Kansas City. I can keep going on a list of teams who has happened to. But my biggest criticism is this is why I wanted a quarterback. This is why I wanted to get another guy. This is why I wanted Hendon Hooker. You all laughed at me. When he ends up being who I thought he was, we'll see how my takes age. I don't say stuff to be right in the moment. I say it because I think it's going to not only age well, but I truly believe that it's the facts based on what happened. Let me give my man, because he's been rocking with me for a long time. He's always been a trustworthy person to trust in a brother and everything. And I'm going to give him his time to talk his stuff. I'm going to bring in my man Detroit Rage so he can talk his talk. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for welcoming me along. Listen, man, I just want to let everybody know, right? Golf is not that guy. He's just not that guy, all right? He needed a scheme to make anything work in a positive way. And as soon as things get a little bit, choppy for him, this is what happens. Fumble, 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 fumble. Who else made this call? The LA Rams. They collectively decided this guy sucked, but for some reason, when something happens here where it works out for a little bit, this guy's the GOAT, right? Let's give him $35 million. I've been saying this, haven't I? Don't give this guy shit. Start looking for another guy. Start looking for another guy. And I don't want to keep this in a negative light, right? Because dog, we got 8 wins, 3 losses. Okay, so hear me out. Just hear me out. I'd rather lose every Thanksgiving game for the rest of my life and keep a positive win-loss record than to be like before where we only won on Thanksgiving. You feel me? So with that being said, we got quarterback sitting in the back. We need to start looking at maybe, just maybe, warming his ass up a little bit because
Rage, I like that. I like that, man.
Just golf is just not that guy. We know it. He gets shook, and then once his confidence dwindles, he fucking stinks. And honestly, this team is too good to allow him to just ruin it like he did the Rams' chances, and they needed Stafford to go over there and win. You feel me?
Don't tell me we're about to have the golf of
we're gonna sit here and do the same shit. We're gonna pawn him off and 2 picks to get a guaranteed Super Bowl. That's what you're telling me? Nah, man, come on. If it happened once, it's gonna happen again. This guy he's not known to be that guy. He's known to literally Like, what? Just beat Mahomes twice. Have a good team, you know, and they helped them get to the Super Bowl. Like, seriously, they honestly, like, I want you to. He's not Matt Stafford. He's not going to come back with 2 minutes left. He did it one time, and that's his defense that did it. You know, I don't get this.
I'll put it this way. You know, the reason I'm not panicked is because by the time the playoffs hit, we'll get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back. We should have James Houston back. We should get.
You're naming defensive players, Luke.
Oh, listen, I know. It's a reason for it though. We'll have those guys back, and I'm hoping that they can learn how to commit to the run. But for me, yeah, I'm ready to see what Hendon Hooker got, and I'm at a point where I believe what Jared Goff got one more year on his contract after this one.
Yeah, just let him go, bro.
Yeah. I say let him walk. I say do not pay him and let him walk. And if he just wants to be traded, then so be it. But
because honestly, you know what this is giving me, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. It's giving me a generic great value brand of Nick Foles feel.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Thank you. Look, I'm a go back to like wrapping up these gifts that I got on Black Friday, man. I love y'all. Be good.
I hear that, brother. To the people out there listening and doing the Black Friday shopping, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through, Detroit Rage.
Man, appreciate it, Rage.
Let me give people my final thought for the show. He said he finna wrap these deals he got. I did Black Friday 1 year. Never again. Never again. I do want to point this out, though. This statement to me is very frustrating because Dan Campbell said it. He says, when asked about the lack of pass rush, he replied, same guys we've had and we've been able to generate pressure. So this unit going to be just fine. These are our guys, man, and they can do it. They have done it.
Win. Okay, I'm tired of hearing Aiden Hutchinson has a motor. At some point, that motor has to get you to the destination. At some point, that motor has to. You can have a great motor in a vehicle, but if it doesn't get you to where you need to go, it's obsolete, man. It's second overall pick, high draft pick. They're going to have to pay him. So what more do you need to do with this guy? What more do you need to do with him? I don't get it.
Man, like I said, I don't get it, man. I do appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I do plan to go live tomorrow because I know that Michigan is playing, so I'm going to try my best to also go live after that game tomorrow, and then hopefully on Sunday, seeing how the Lions are not playing on Sunday, right? I think we don't play again until Thursday. So we got another Thursday game, so that's 9 days that they'll have off to regroup. I was happy to see so many people upset and frustrated about the loss, and take ownership and accountability for it, and it just really makes me proud. But that brings me to my positive quote for the day, because I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And this one comes from rapper mogul 50 Cent. He says, "Be careful with what you tolerate. You're only teaching people how to treat you." Yeah, let me let that soak in a little bit. Be careful with what you tolerate. You're only teaching people how to treat you. Some of y'all been dealing with some people too long that need to be exited out of your lives because they're not bringing any value to you. They only seem to have the open hand and the closed hand when you need them. There's some people in your life that right now is taking more from you from the emotional standpoint than they are putting into you from the emotional standpoint. There are some friends and some family members who have tested all your patience, and you have tolerated some things far too long, but wondering why they're constantly treating you like that. It's because your toleration has been too damn long and too strong, and they have learned that this is acceptable. You see, when you set boundaries, you draw lines in the sand and you stand on that, I promise you things get different. The moment you start to tell people no, they're so upset because you've been too used to saying yes. And the moment you said no, there was an opportunity for that person to expose themselves because you said yes 999 times. But the one no is the one that makes you the devil. The one no is the one that sets you back. The one no is the one that gets your blood boiling. I'm trying to get you to understand that the way that you allow tolerance to go is the way that people will treat you. And that treatment is not a reflection on your viewpoint, but your tolerance to their beliefs. I'm asking you to start to cut some names off that list, to start telling those people who can only talk to you when they need an ear, but can't hear you when you need to speak. You need to get rid of them people. The people who always got their hand open for you to give them something, but closed when you need something back. Get rid of them people. The people who don't celebrate your wins, but want you to celebrate theirs. Get rid of those people. The people who say you can't do it, you won't do it, you shall not do it. But when it's their time, they need you to not only pick them up, but they want you to carry them to the other end of the thing and then tell you that they made it on their own with nobody's help. Get rid of those people. Stop tolerating people who is not willing to tolerate the best versions of you. And when you start doing that, you start to notice that not only does the quality of life you get come out in a way that's beautiful, but it starts to show you who's truly in your corner. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. I got so much more coming because I would not be censored on what I see no more. I tried to go along with it far too long, and I let people tell me, oh, it's a victory, just be happy. Yeah. This ain't that kind of show. This ain't what that show was built on. This is not how it works. And at the end of the day, we need to find a way to just be better. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out. And shout out to Man Hour for sponsoring this video. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you.